Step into the world of aviation history and prepare to be amazed by a truly unconventional aircraft design that rocked the skies. Meet the Saab J35, a game-changer that defied expectations and redefined what a fighter jet could be. In the 1960s, the concept of a tailless double delta-wing aircraft was considered a risky venture, lacking historical precedent. However, Saab's determined engineers took on the challenge with ambition and enthusiasm. As expected, the J35 model faced numerous problems in its initial service due to its unstable nature. The unique double delta configuration made landing difficult and required manual stabilization during attempts. But among the chaos, little did the Swedish engineers know that this challenge would present a one-of-a-kind opportunity, the discovery of a maneuver that was yet unknown to any other nation. This maneuver, known as the Cobra, was stumbled upon by test pilots during an uncontrollable stall at high alpha. By rapidly negating the angle of attack to counter the suspension, Cobra turned the airframe into its own air brake, instantly reducing its speed. And this is how the Saab 35 became an indisputable icon, a symbol of boldness and innovation. After World War II, the development of jet fighter technology advanced significantly, and Sweden was determined not to lag behind. In the fall of 1948, the Swedish Air Force, through the Defense Materiel Administration, announced a set of requirements for a cutting-edge interceptor. This aircraft needed to be capable of supersonic speeds and intercepting bombers at high altitudes, while also being able to engage in combat with other aircraft. The initial requirement specified a top speed of no less than Mach 1.4, but it was later revised to Mach 1.7, and then raised to Mach 2. Additionally, the aircraft needed to accommodate a single pilot, operate in all weather conditions, and be able to take off and land on austere airstrips. It also had to be simple enough for conscripts with minimal training to refuel and rearm the aircraft within 10 minutes. However, unlike the contemporary US Air Force F-100 Starfighters, which were designed for conventional air bases, the Swedish aircraft had to fulfill a unique role: operate from reinforced public roads, which the Swedish defense had developed during the Cold War to protect against potential nuclear threats. And while Saab rose to the challenge and designed the aircraft accordingly, the company's engineers and designers faced a daunting task in meeting all these requirements. They found that a delta wing configuration could address most of the critical issues and offered advantages, such as increased internal fuel storage and structural robustness. But the unconventional aircraft called for an unconventional solution. To achieve optimized aerodynamics, the forward fuselage had to be extended, resulting in an excessively heavy aircraft. The innovative designers then opted for a radical approach: the double delta wing. This configuration was completely untested, and without the aid of computer simulations, the engineers faced a slow and laborious process of wind tunnel testing and live flight tests. A small but flyable test aircraft called the subscale Saab 210, or Lille Draken, Little Dragon, was built and flown for the first time in January 1952. The successful results of this test led to the order for 3 full-size prototypes. 3 years later, the first full-size Draken conducted its maiden flight, marking a significant milestone in aviation. Soon enough, Draken's double delta configuration proved to be exceptional, and let me tell you how. Remember the Cobra maneuver we discussed earlier? A controlled superstall state that involved rapidly lifting the nose, causing the aircraft to fly forward, perpendicular to the ground, and then facing the sky. The pilot could then use the airframe as an enormous air brake, rapidly slowing down the aircraft. Although not directly applicable to combat scenarios, the maneuver demonstrated the Draken's tremendous maneuverability. The Draken was twice as capable as other single-engine jets of its era, allowing it to dispense with a tailplane altogether, resulting in a sleek and distinctive profile. The circular fuselage blended seamlessly with the surface, foreshadowing the concept of the blended wing body. The inboard portion of the wing extended almost to the engine intakes, providing a large chord surface for high-speed performance. The leading edge of the inner wing had an 80-degree sweep, while the outer wing had a 60-degree angle for lower speeds. Deliveries of the initial iteration of the Draken began in late 1959 and proceeded smoothly. The first wing of the Swedish Air Force to receive the Draken was F-13, stationed at Norrköping. By the end of 1960, multiple wings were already equipped with the Draken and had achieved operational status. Although primarily designed as a high-altitude interceptor rather than a dogfighter, the Draken proved to be more than capable in both roles. It possessed good maneuverability and high speed at all altitudes, making it a versatile aircraft. Early models were focused on air defense, but an improved version, the J35B, was later developed. This model featured an enhanced power plant, an enlarged afterburner, a redesigned rear fuselage, and advanced avionics and radar systems. A total of 651 Drakens were manufactured for the Swedish fleet, encompassing 6 different versions. Additionally, 2 export variants were offered primarily to Denmark and Finland. These variants were equipped with FEI-built air-to-air missile systems and advanced fire control radar, enabling them to engage various aerial and surface targets effectively. The Draken also found success beyond Sweden's borders. The United States employed a dozen former Danish Drakens as trainers, and Austria purchased several dozen specially refurbished J35Ds, retrofitting them with internal cannons due to restrictions on missile use imposed by the Austrian State Treaty. Over time, the Draken underwent several upgrades, with the final model, the J35F, being produced in the late 1980s. However, by that point, the Draken had already been replaced by the Saab 37 Viggen, and its operational life ended in 1999. Nevertheless, Draken's legacy was remarkable, owing to its double delta configuration, which gained increasing popularity within Saab. The aircraft remained in service in some capacity until the mid-2000s, thanks to a service life extension program that extended its operational lifespan to nearly 5 decades, an impressive achievement for an aircraft originally considered experimental. In conclusion, the story of the Saab J35 Draken is one of audacity, innovation, and excellence. The Swedish engineers and designers embraced the challenge of creating a supersonic interceptor that could operate from reinforced public roads, and their solution, the double delta wing, proved to be a stroke of genius. The Draken's unique configuration made it a true icon of aviation, and its success both domestically and internationally solidified its place in history and paved the way for future advancements in aircraft design. Do you know of any aircraft with a story more interesting than the Draken? Tell us in the comments below. This brings us to the end of this video. If you liked the video, please consider subscribing and sharing so we can keep bringing more content like this. See you next time.